close your eyes. Let your body settle into whatever surface is beneath you. Feel the weight of your limbs growing heavier and heavier. Let your shoulders drop. Let your jaw loosen. Let your hands rest open and still. Tonight, you are going somewhere ancient, somewhere that exists only at the edge of memory and dream, a place so beautiful, so still, so perfectly suspended in time, that simply arriving there is enough to let everything else go. We are going to Atlantis. Not the Atlantis of legends and warnings, not the one that was lost. Tonight, we visit Atlantis on its very last night of peace, before the world changed. The night when the city was still whole, still glowing, still breathing softly beneath a sky full of stars. You are a traveller. You have arrived by sea, and you are very, very tired. The kind of tired that feels like warmth, the kind that makes everything soft around the edges. Let yourself arrive. The water is dark and silver, like a mirror laid flat across the world, and your small vessel drifts across it without effort, without sound. The oars have been set aside. There is no wind, and yet you move forward, gently, steadily, as though the sea itself is carrying you home. You sit at the bow of the boat and look ahead, and there it is, Atlantis. It rises from the ocean like a dream that someone forgot to finish. Vast, luminous, impossibly beautiful. The city is arranged in great rings of land and water, ring after ring, each one separated by a calm canal that catches the light of the moon and holds it. From this distance, the whole city looks like a target drawn in silver and gold on the surface of the sea. The outermost ring is dark with trees, dense, tropical, ancient trees whose roots reach all the way down to the ocean floor. Their canopies sway very gently in an air so still you can barely feel it. You can hear them though, the slow, hushing sound, like breathing, like the whole island is breathing. Behind the trees, the first wall of the city catches the moonlight. It is made of white stone, smooth as bone, and it curves away in both directions until you cannot see its ends. Set into the wall at intervals are lanterns, soft amber lanterns that burn without flickering, steady and warm, their light spilling down into the water below and making the canal glow like molten honey. Your boat drifts toward a low stone dock. Someone has left a rope tied to the post, and your vessel finds it on its own, coming to rest with one quiet, solid knot of wood against stone. You step off the boat, your feet touch the dock, and you stand very still for a moment, just breathing. The air here is warm and faintly sweet, like night blooming flowers, like rain on warm stone, like something you cannot name, but have always recognized. You are here. You follow a path through the trees. The path is made of flat stones, dark grey and smooth, worn down by centuries of feet. Roots cross over it in gentle arches, and small lanterns hang from the lower branches of the trees, close to the ground, lighting the way in soft pools of amber. The trees are enormous. Their trunks are wider than a house, their bark dark and grooved, their roots spreading across the ground like the fingers of sleeping giants. And between them, in the deep shadows beneath the canopy, you can see things growing. Broad-leafed plants, pale flowers that open only at night, long tendrils of something soft and silver that catches the light and holds it. Everything here is alive and deeply, deeply still. You walk slowly. There is no need to hurry. There is nowhere to be. The path winds gently between the trunks, and each step you take is softer than the last. The stone beneath your feet worn so smooth it feels almost like walking on warm sand. A creature, small, nocturnal, something between a deer and a cat, crosses the path ahead of you. It pauses. It looks at you with large, luminous eyes. It is not afraid. It simply looks for a long, quiet moment, and then steps softly into the undergrowth and is gone. You breathe in. You breathe out. The trees begin to thin. The path slopes gently upward, and you follow it, feeling the warmth of the air settle around you like a blanket. And then the trees fall away entirely, and you are standing at the edge of the first canal. It is wide and still and perfectly dark, except for the reflections that float on its surface. Lantern light, starlight, and the pale glow of the next ring of the city, which rises beyond the water in a low, golden shimmer. The bridge arches over the canal. It is made of the same white stone as the wall, and it is narrow, with low sides, and it curves just slightly upward on the middle. You walk onto it and pause at the top of the arch. You look down. The water below is so still, so perfectly clear, that you can see the bottom. Pale sand, scattered with dark shapes that might be stones, or coral, or the remnants of something very old. A fish passes through your reflection, slow and silver, and disappears. You stand there for a long moment, just looking at the water, just breathing, just being still. Your eyelids are a little heavy. That is all right. That is more than all right. You cross the bridge and enter the second ring of Atlantis. This ring is where the people live, or where they lived, in the days when this city was full and busy and bright. Tonight, on this last peaceful night, the streets are quiet. The market stalls are covered with cloth. The fountains are still running, though. Thin streams of water that fall from carved stone basins into wide pools, making a sound so constant and so gentle that it becomes invisible, like silence itself. You walk along a wide street, paved with small dark tiles arranged in slow spiral patterns. The buildings on either side are 2 and 3 stories tall, their walls washed in pale plaster, white, cream, the softest shade of blue. Their windows are open to the night air, and from some of them comes the faint sound of breathing, the sound of people sleeping. The city is asleep. You are walking through a sleeping city, and there is something profoundly safe about that. Something that makes your own body want to follow. At the corner, there is a fountain. You stop beside it. The basin is round, carved from dark stone, and in the center stands a figure. A woman with her arms raised, her face tilted upward, water pouring from her palms in 2 thin, arching streams. The stone is green with age, and the water that falls from it is perfectly clear. You sit on the edge of the basin and listen to the water. It falls with a sound like very soft rain, like the lightest, most careful rain you have ever heard. It strikes the surface of the pool and spreads in rings, slow rings, ring after ring after ring, and you watch them move outward until they disappear against the stone edges of the basin. Ring after ring after ring. The tension in your shoulders is releasing now. You can feel it going. Not all at once, but gradually, like warmth spreading out from the center of your chest. You breathe in the night air. It smells like water, and old stone, and something faintly floral. Somewhere above you, very faintly, you can hear a bird. One single bird, making a low, sleepy sound from a rooftop somewhere. And then it stops, and there is only the fountain. You sit there for a long, long time. Eventually, You rise and continue walking. The street curves gently, following the ring of the city, and you follow it, passing closed doors and dark windows and small sleeping gardens enclosed behind low walls. In one garden, a tree has dropped its blossoms, and the ground beneath it is carpeted in pale petals, silver in the moonlight. You pause at the wall and look at them. They are so still. They have fallen exactly where they fell, undisturbed by any wind, and they cover the ground like something precious, like something placed there deliberately. You move on. The street brings you to another bridge and another canal, this one narrower than the first, its water a deeper, darker green. You cross it and enter the inner rings of the city. The garden ring is the most beautiful. It is a wide belt of cultivated land that separates the outer residential streets from the inner palace and temple grounds. And it is, even at night, even in the deep, still hours before dawn, breathtaking. The paths here are not stone, but compressed earth, soft underfoot, edged with low borders of smooth river rocks. On either side of the path, the gardens stretch away in the darkness, not wild, but deeply, deliberately, lovingly tended. There are rows of flowering trees, their branches arching overhead to form a tunnel of dark leaves and pale blossoms. There are wide lawns that are so perfectly flat, and still they look like water. There are hedges carved into long, gentle waves, like the memory of the sea frozen in green. And there are flowers. Everywhere. Flowers. Not in gaudy abundance, but in careful, considered abundance. White flowers and pale yellow flowers, and flowers of a deep, impossible blue that seems to hold its own light, even in the dark. You walk slowly through this garden. There is no sound here, except your own footsteps, soft on the earth. And somewhere, very far off, the low murmur of water. The air is cooler here than in the streets, and it carries the scent of everything that is growing, green and sweet. You come to a bench, a long, low bench of pale stone placed beside a pond. You sit down. The pond is small and perfectly round. Its surface is absolutely still. The stars are reflected in it. All of them, every single one, and they are so bright and so clear that you feel for a moment as though you are sitting at the edge of the sky, looking down into the universe. You look at the stars in the water. They do not move. They simply hold there, patient and ancient and enormous and impossibly far away, and yet right there, right at your feet, reflected so clearly you could almost reach down and touch them. Your breathing is very slow now. In and out. In and out. The bench is warm beneath you. The air is warm around you. The stars are quiet in the water. And you feel, not sleepy exactly, but something beyond sleepy. Something that is to sleepiness, as the ocean is to a puddle. A deep, vast, horizontal feeling. A loosening of everything. You could lie down here in the garden. You could simply lie down on this bench and let the night cover you like a blanket, and no one would mind. The garden would hold you. The stars would watch over you. The pond would keep its reflections. Everything would be perfectly, completely fine. But there is a little more of the city to see. So gently, softly, you rise from the bench and continue along the path. The path rises slightly as it approaches the center of the city, and you climb it without effort, your steps slow and light. Ahead of you, rising above the garden walls and the tree canopies, you can see the temple. It is enormous, far larger than anything in the outer rings, built of the same white stone, but polished to a brightness that seems to gather and amplify the moonlight. Its columns are thick as ancient trees, and they rise up and up into the dark sky, supporting a roof so vast it seems almost like a second sky, the ceiling carved with stars and sea creatures, and the slow, curling forms of waves. You approach it from the wide avenue that leads to its entrance, and as you walk, the stone beneath your feet changes. It becomes smoother, paler. It is warm, even now, as though it has stored the heat of the day deep inside itself and is releasing it slowly, gradually, through the night. The entrance to the temple is open. Of course it is open. Everything here is open. There are no locks in Atlantis tonight. You step inside. The interior is vast and cool and very dim. The light comes from long, narrow channels cut into the walls near the floor, where oil burns in an endless low flame, orange and golden, and the colour of old honey. It lights the columns from below, making them glow, and the ceiling above disappears into shadow. The floor is covered in a single piece of stone, one enormous seamless piece of pale green marble that seems to breathe slightly underfoot. It is so smooth, so warm, so alive feeling. In the centre of the temple, there is a pool. Not a fountain, not a basin. A pool, wide and shallow, the water absolutely still, so clear that the green marble beneath it is perfectly visible, perfectly undisturbed. The water is warm. You can feel its warmth from where you stand. You walk toward it. You sit at its edge. You lower your hand into the water. It is the perfect temperature. Not hot, not cold. Simply the same as you, the same as your skin, the same as your breath. It is as though the water and you are made of the same thing. And for a moment, with your hand resting in it, you can feel no boundary between yourself and the water. You cannot feel where you end and the warmth begins. You sit there in the temple. The flames in the wall, channels burn low and steady. There is no sound. No wind reaches this far inside. Even the sound of the fountains in the garden has faded to silence. It is the deepest quiet you have ever known. Not an empty quiet, not a lonely quiet, a full quiet. A quiet full of the weight and breath and age of this city, full of everything that has ever happened here. Every prayer and every celebration and every ordinary, beautiful moment that has accumulated in this stone over centuries and now sits here, still and warm and held. You stay here for a long time, a very long time. Your hand trails in the warm water. Your eyes grow heavy. The flames in the walls burn. The city sleeps all around you, ring upon ring upon ring, from this still centre all the way out to the dark trees at the edge of the sea. All of it quiet, all of it whole, all of it breathing. Eventually, softly, slowly, you find your way out of the temple and into the open air again. The sky is beginning its very faintest shift. Not lighter. It is still deep, still full of stars, but different. There is something in the quality of the darkness that tells you the night is at its midpoint, its perfect centre, the moment that is equidistant from both the last sunset and the next dawn. You are in the very middle of the night, in the very middle of the last peaceful night of Atlantis. A narrow staircase leads up the side of a building near the temple, a low, flat-roofed building used, perhaps, by those who tend the temple. You climb it. The steps are shallow and wide and easy, and your hand trails along the warm stone wall beside you as you go. At the top, you step out onto the roof, and you stop, because the view from here is one of the most beautiful things you have ever seen. The entire city spreads out below and around you, ring after ring after ring, all the way to the sea. Every canal reflects the sky. Every lantern burns in its amber steadiness. The trees of the outer ring are a dark, soft mass at the edge of everything, and beyond them, the ocean, the great, dark, still ocean, extends to the horizon in every direction. And it and the sky are almost the same colour, so that you cannot quite tell where one ends and the other begins. You can see the stars in the sky and the stars in the sea, and you are in the middle of all of it. There is a low wall around the roof's edge, and you sit against it, your back to the stone, your face tilted up to the sky. The stone is warm, your body is warm, the night around you is warm, everything is warm, and still, and enormous, and quietly, boundlessly kind. You look up at the stars for a long time. You do not count them. You do not name them. You simply look, the way you might look at the surface of a river, not trying to follow any particular thread, just resting your eyes on the whole of it, letting it fill your vision without asking anything of it. The stars are very old. They were here before Atlantis. They will be here after Atlantis. They are here now, on this last, still, perfect night. And they are enormous. And they are patient. And they ask nothing of you at all. Nothing at all. Your arms feel very heavy. Your legs feel very heavy. Your thoughts, which earlier tonight may have carried some weight, some worry, some restlessness, some unfinished thing pressing at the edges, those thoughts are very quiet now, very distant, like sounds from the far end of a long corridor. You can just barely hear them, and they mean very little. They can wait. Whatever they are, they can wait. The stars look at you. You look at the stars. You breathe. You do not remember exactly when you left the rooftop, only that at some point you descended the stairs again, and a door was open at the base of the building, and inside was a room. A simple room. A low bed piled with soft coverings, linens of the palest cream, heavy and cool to the touch. A single lamp burning very low in the corner, casting almost no light. Just the faintest amber warmth that was more the idea of light than light itself. A window, open to the garden, through which came the smallest breath of air, carrying with it the scent of night flowers and warm earth and, just barely, the salt of the sea. You stood in the doorway of this room and looked at it, and the room waited for you, very quietly, very patiently, the way a room waits when it knows it is for you, when everything in it has been arranged with exactly you in mind, without knowing who you are, without needing to know, just knowing that whoever came through this door would need rest, and providing it. You crossed the room. You sat on the edge of the bed. The mattress yielded to you, not completely, just enough, just the perfect amount, just the feeling of being supported and held and given exactly as much resistance as you needed to feel safe. You lay down. The pillow received your head with the softness of water. The coverlet settled over you with the weight of a long exhale, and you were still, perfectly, completely still. Outside the window, the garden was still. The city was still. The canals carried the moonlight without moving. The trees breathed in the outer ring. The ocean held the city in its enormous, steady arms. Somewhere in the city, a child was sleeping. Somewhere, an old woman who had lived here her whole life was sleeping, her hands folded on her chest, her face smooth and open. But somewhere, a man who spent his days in the harbour was sleeping with the smell of salt on his skin. Somewhere, a scholar had fallen asleep over a book, the lamp burned out beside him. her cheek on the page. Everyone was sleeping. The whole city, ring upon ring upon ring, was breathing together in the deep, synchronized rhythm of shared sleep. And you were part of it. You were one more sleeper in a city of sleepers, in a night of perfect stillness, in a world that was, for this one last moment, whole. The breathing was slow. You can feel it. The slow. Each breath a little longer than the last. Each exhale a little more complete. The lungs fill slowly, and they empty slowly. And in the space between the emptying and the filling, there is a moment, brief, suspended, still, where you are neither breathing in nor breathing out, where you are simply there. Simply there. That moment, that stillness between breath, is getting a little longer each time. Not uncomfortably, not with any effort, just naturally, effortlessly, the way a river slows as it approaches the sea. You are approaching the sea of sleep. The lamp in the corner has dimmed almost to nothing. Just the faintest thread of amber. Just a warmth that you can feel more than see. A warmth that comes from nowhere specific and goes nowhere specific. It is simply there. The way warmth always is, when the night is right, and the covers are heavy, and the world is quiet. Through the window, you can see one star. Just one. It is very bright, very still. It hangs in the precise center of the window frame, and it does not move, and it does not blink, and it will still be there when the sun rises, invisible in the daylight, but there, always there. You watch it, or you let it watch you. It doesn't matter which. The city of Atlantis is in its last hour of wholeness. It does not know this, or perhaps it does. Perhaps cities feel things the way very old trees feel the change of seasons, slowly, in their roots, long before any leaf falls. Perhaps the stone knows. Perhaps the water in the canals knows. But the people are sleeping. And because they are sleeping, because they are deep in dreams, the ending of one thing and the beginning of another will be, for them, indistinguishable from the night itself. What is the ending of a thing you love if you are sleeping through it? It is only a dream. And what is a dream? At this depth of the night, just another version of being held. You are being held. The bed holds you. The room holds you. The building holds you. The city holds you. The ocean holds the city. The sky holds the ocean. And whatever lies beyond the sky, whatever dark, still enormous presence constitutes the outermost edge of everything, holds all of it, the way a pair of cupped hands holds water, gently, without spilling. You are held. You are safe. You do not need to hold on to anything tonight. You do not need to remember anything, or prepare for anything, or worry about anything, or decide anything, or even think anything. You only need to breathe, in and out, in and out. The star in the window watches over you. The city breathes around you. The ocean breathes around the city. And you breathe, slowly, deeply, completely. You are very far down now, not in a frightening way. In the way that divers speak of being far down, that calm, blue, pressureless place where everything is filtered and soft and the surface seems very far away, and that is entirely all right. The surface will be there when it is time. For now, there is only this: the depth, the warmth, the stillness. Your body has become very heavy, and that heaviness is not a burden. It is a gift. It is the weight of every muscle, finally, fully releasing. It is the weight of a day completed, carried to its end, set down. It is the weight of trust, the trust that the bed will hold you, that the night will keep you, that the morning will come when it is time and not before. You trust the morning to come without your help. You do not need to move toward it. You do not need to pull it closer. You can simply lie here in the beautiful dark. In this room, in this city, on this island, in this sea, and let the night do what nights do. Hold you, carry you, deliver you, gently and without effort, to the other side. Atlantis turns slowly beneath the stars. The canals carry their silver light. The trees breathe in the outer ring. The temple pool reflects the ceiling and holds it. The flowers in the garden give their scent to the air without holding anything back. Fully, freely, without effort. And you give your consciousness to the night the same way. Fully, freely, without effort, without holding anything back. Let the thoughts dissolve. Let the images soften at the edges. Let the sounds of the waking world, if there are any, become distant, indistinct, part of some other story that you are no longer responsible for following. You are not responsible for following anything tonight. You are only responsible for resting, and resting is so easy. Resting is the easiest thing in the world. Your eyes are closed. Your hands are still. Your breath moves in and out without your asking it to. Your heart beats without your asking it to. Your body knows exactly what to do. It has always known. Just let it. Just let it. The water in the canals is moving. Very gently. Imperceptibly. The way water always moves, even when it seems perfectly still. The small circulation of temperature and current that keeps it alive. And if you were to listen very carefully, more carefully than waking ears can manage, with the soft, porous ears of someone just on the border of sleep, you would hear it. The water singing. Not in words, not in a melody you could write down, but in the way that water always sings, in the small percussions of itself against stone, in the breath of its surface, in the low, constant, barely there sound of simply being. The water of Atlantis has been singing for a very long time. It sang when the first stones were laid. It sang when the first people came. It sang through festivals and ordinary mornings and long, quiet seasons when nothing much happened and everyone was quietly, unremarkably happy. It is singing now. For you. For this last, perfect, whole night. Listen to it. You can hear it, just barely. That low, soft, ancient sound. Water moving through stone channels. Water carrying moonlight. Water that has been here longer than the city and will return to the ocean when the city is gone, and will still be water, still moving, still singing, still holding the light of whatever sky is above it. Nothing is lost. Not really. Not the water. Not the light. Not the warmth of this room and this bed and this night. These things continue. In other forms, in other places, at other times. But they continue. And so do you. Tomorrow you will wake in your own bed, in your own room, in your own time. And something of this night will remain with you, not as a memory you can quite grasp, but as a feeling, a quality of warmth, a sense that somewhere, beneath the ordinary surface of things, there is a city of canals and lanterns and warm stone, and it is whole, and you have been there, and it is holding you still. You carry it with you, everywhere you go. The warmth of Atlantis, the stillness of Atlantis, the deep, sustained, ancient, unhurried peace of a city that exists at the very edge of dream. The star in the window has not moved. It will not move. It is watching over you with the particular patience of something that has been watching over sleepers, for as long as there have been sleepers to watch. You breathe. The city breathes. They breathe together. In, out, in, out. There are no more thoughts now that need attending to. There are no more things to look at or listen for. There is only the soft dark behind your closed eyelids. And within that dark, not emptiness, but fullness. A fullness of warmth and weight, and the sensation of being held that is so total, so complete, that the boundary between you and the holding has become unclear. You do not know exactly where you are, and that is perfectly all right. You are somewhere safe. You are somewhere warm. You are somewhere that has been waiting for you. And now that you are here, now that you have finally arrived and set everything down, and let yourself be still, the night can do what it came to do. It can take you, gently, softly, all the way down, into the quiet that lives at the bottom of sleep. The blue, warm, timeless quiet, where Atlantis waits, where it has always waited, where it will always wait, for you, for you. Let go. Let your thoughts drift. Let your body be heavy. Let the night hold you. Let Atlantis breathe around you. The canals are still. The lanterns are burning. The stars are watching. The water is singing. You are safe. You are warm. You are held. Sleep now.